Well, good morning. Good morning from the Hill. This is Hill Logic. I'm CC Caps. Coming to you this morning from my newly organized shop. Makes me feel good. I think I've mentioned before that I'm retired and stay at home by myself all day long. My wife has a full time job that pulls her away from the Hill 5 days a week. And when you spend a lot of time alone, at least I find myself inside my head more than not. And it's just amazing to me when I look back on a day, any particular day. It's amazing to me the different thoughts that run through my head, the different ideas. Uh, Sometimes looking back, sometimes looking forward, sometimes looking in the present. And that's what I wanted to do this morning was just kind of share some of my thoughts that uh, don't keep me up at night, but they definitely keep me wondering what's going on in my own mind. Uh, and I feel like I need to put some type of a disclaimer on this little chat. And I think it would be promises. I can promise that the thoughts are always just all mine, and you may or may not ever contemplate them, have them, or agree or disagree with them. I promise that I probably will not stay on topic. That's why they call it rambling, which I'm famous for or infamous for. I'm not sure which. Um, I promise that I'll probably uh, get off topic and digress into another area. What I cannot promise is that you will agree. Can't promise you'll be entertained. Um, I can't promise you that I'll have any answers. I can't promise that all these thoughts make sense. So, with that out of the way, this has been a weird couple of weeks for me. Uh, to begin with, one of the most important people in my life uh, last week had major surgery, and it just scared the living daylights out of me. And of course, that drives you into your head as well, all the things that could happen and all the things you worry about, and then on top of that, some really good friends of ours uh, moved off the hill, out of state, moved to Arkansas. You know that it's a foreign country, and come so close to these folks that and their children that it was just almost more than I could emotionally bear. I had to instead of hanging around and helping out and what have you, and being my normal jovial self at times like that, I had to bow out. It's just too emotional for me. And from these things, as hard as they may be, us as humans, unfortunately, will always go to the negative of the situation. In reference to the person that had the surgery, you think, "Oh my God, what happens? What's going to happen if it goes badly? What's going to happen? What am I going to do? What's going to happen to his family? What's going to happen to my family?" Um, Probably what we should do is put out into the universe all the positive things that'll happen. Which in this case, uh, at this stage of the game, it looks like everything that happened will be positive. He should be a lot healthier after this surgery. He's definitely supposedly going to be adding years to his life, which is a great thing. And I'm very thankful for all those things. I'm very thankful that uh, when he came out of the surgery, he came out of the surgery. So maybe we should have been dwelling on that to begin with. But as humans, we're pretty weak. As far as the folks that are leaving the Hill, that was really the only outside interaction I had with people on a daily basis, and all I could think about is, you know, who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to joke around with and drink a glass of tea with or a beer with and have each other over for dinner and games and what have you? What I should have been thinking about probably instead of those negatives is the positives of, they're starting over. And contrary to popular belief, starting over is a good thing. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. They're moving on to bigger, better things, uh, to find more happiness. I believe all of those things will come true. And perhaps we should have been dwelling on that instead of woe is me, what am I going to do? I think that we lose ourselves in our own little world to the point that all we can really judge something going on in our lives is how it affects us and our lives. I was lamenting to my wife this weekend that, uh, as much as I really don't like social media, I don't like cell phones as far as that goes, uh, I find myself quite dependent on it in that I don't want to sit on my couch and watch TV all day long. I can't do physically what I used to do, but I do, I stay busy, keep up best I can with the stuff that I need to get done. But it still leaves a good chunk of the day where I'm either going to be sitting looking at a wall or watching TV or something sedentary. Uh, and I have found that social media is kind of an outlet for me to at least get out there and say what's on my mind. It's kind of an exchange. Sometimes, not too often, but once in a while I'll get a comment, and an exchange, and that's a good thing. But anyway, I was telling her that here lately I had been with all these other things going on. I had kind of been feeling a little guilty. I had a really good friend. Uh, he was a bachelor, lived alone, and got cancer. First, he was injured, which left him unable to walk, and then he got cancer, and he was, he was off and on in a bad or a good way sometimes, and he would just sit in his apartment all day long. And I tried to call him when I could, and that's the guilty part. What do you mean when I could? You're retired. Anytime you wanted to call, you could have. And I got to thinking about he was a good man. The last years of his life were spent almost totally in solitude and um, completely sedentary. And I got to thinking and feeling bad through all these other things that, God, it wouldn't have cost me nothing to go see him. He doesn't live 10 minutes from me. I could have went to see him more, visited with him more, had more um, contact with him. But I didn't. I was too busy. Shame on me. Shame on me. And if you have someone like that in your life, shame on you. All too often, we get caught up in our own little manufactured world. And that's exactly what it is. Anybody tells you different or anybody disagrees are kidding themselves. We manufacture our reality. And I know that because as our reality sends stuff into our lives, we manufacture how to cope with that, how to handle that, ignore it, move forward, move backwards in it. We manufacture our particular reality. If it's something very, very harsh and hard, we manufacture a way to get it out of our minds, ease our minds about it. So in it that I believe that, then I should have manufactured a way to go spend more time with him, as well as the family just moved away from the Hill. I could have spent more time with them. But we always think there's going to be more time. We always think I'll do that later. And all too often, uh, if we're any kind of a person, when that comes to an end, then we have those guilty feelings where, perhaps if we would be more uh, proactive instead of reactive, maybe we wouldn't have to suffer through those feelings and enrich both our lives. I don't know what each of you do for relaxation or work or anything, but I can tell you that it's not all about work. It really should be all about slowing down, smelling the roses. You've heard that before, right? Smell the roses. It's it's a it's an idiom that we should hold near and dear to our hearts. Um, Being stuck here on this hill, I can't drive anymore, and uh, I depend on my wife and whoever else I can glom onto to take me somewhere to get what I need. But I've learned to slow my roll. Uh, I've learned to accept my limitations and not project my limitations on other people. I try very, very hard not to let my limitations cause other people undue stress or undue uh, hardship. And it's hard to do. It truly is. Uh, but I'm surrounded by a great family, and my wife goes over and beyond for me, and so I have no complaints uh, that I dwell on. Just, I guess if I wanted to try to impart, and I can't even remember why I started the video. How about that? But you know, our government is firing things at us at rapid fire to the point that I can't even keep up anymore. I know, cotton picking well. This is not what our uh, the framers of the Constitution and the people that built this, started this great nation had in mind. They would go berserk if they could see what we're doing. And I think that sometimes while we need to pay attention, know what, or at least understand what we can understand about what's coming down the pike from these carpetbaggers. But I also think that it's more important to fine tune and hone that manufactured reality. I promise you, when you are in a low spot and going through tough times, you can call your government till you're blue in the face and you're not going to get any help. That's why I believe it's a manufactured reality. We manufacture our own reality. So, when I run to problems like that, I have friends I can turn to, and family, and unfortunately, my poor wife, I turn to her all the time with it. So, um, but I really think we would be better off as a people if we put most of our thought process, planning process, goals, and everything else into the manufactured reality that we have, that we can exercise some degree of control. Because I got to tell you, friends, you got no control over what this government's doing. These carpetbaggers are coming at us 10 at a time. And there's not a thing you can do about it. Sure, we vote, and we like to feel like that's making a difference. Um, but the difference that we can hold in our hand that's tangible to us are the relationships we have in this world, uh, the degree of uh, believing in the possibilities, in the possible, the positive. I've just got to the point where I will not hardly let any negatives come into my world. I'm over it. I'm done with all the negatives. Uh, I always lead now with positives. So uh, I said you may not have anything to take away from what I'm saying, and I stand by that. However, if you can take away something, take away this. We are a product of our own manufactured reality. Now, I'm sure plenty of scholars would tell me I'm outside my mind. And, a lot of times I spend time outside my mind. It's nice out there. But grab a hold of the ones that are around you that mean something to you and let them know how important they are. Let them know the positives they bring to your life. And don't do it on their birthday. Do it every day. Every day you can think of it. I try to tell my wife I love her as many times as I can during the day. So take a deep breath. Look around you. There's plenty of things to be thankful for. Be thankful for that. There's people around you that love you. Love them back. And always be kind. Be kind to one another. And try to stay out of your head. Good luck with that. Well, from the Hill, I'm going to sign off because I went this far without making any sense. There's no sense going any further. I think you get the drift. That I'm home alone. So somebody gave me this microphone. That was a bad mistake. So you have a great day. Don't let anything turn you negative. Keep your head up. Love one another. Be kind to one another. And be verbal about it. So from the Hill is Hill Logic. Goodbye.